Joe, so when did you start training and what's your progression been like?
I first started training around 3 years ago. I used to be a very skinny kid when I was younger. I used to be a bit of an ectomorph, so I always struggled to put on weight. But in the progress over the years, I've definitely feel like I've come a long way. I've put on a lot of weight, I've started to gain a good size, and I've been able to compete.
So ideally, looking into the future, what do you want to achieve in bodybuilding?
What do I want to achieve in bodybuilding? Well, I would like to get myself recognised a lot more in bodybuilding. I would like to start becoming recognised throughout the brands. I would like to start getting involved in more fitness competitions. I would like people to start looking up to me and start looking at me as like their role model.
Okay, so how important is it for you in order to train correctly and not pick up any serious injuries? And have you had any injuries since you started training?
Training correctly comes with time. It comes with progression. It comes with a lot of learning. Obviously, with bodybuilding, you are lifting heavy weights. You're doing a lot of strain on the body, so you do actually pick up a lot of injuries. From experience, from poor technique, from training too young, from training too fast, too hard, or too heavy, I have picked up an injury. I've picked an injury up on my right knee, where I've actually had to go for an MRI scan, and I picked up, and it was tendinitis. I've also picked up an injury on my shoulder, which came from a mountain bike accident, but through that accident, it's actually led me to have trouble in the gym. However, over the recent few months, I've started stretching a lot more. I've started picking up better techniques, and I've started learning how to actually train better, and the injuries have started to fade away.
And in terms of the lifestyle that a competitive bodybuilder has, what sort of diet do you need, and how often do you have to train?
Depending on what kind of physique you want to go for, you sort of base your diet around that. So if you wanted to be a guy who was a strongman trainer, so for instance, you've seen strongest man on TV, that kind of guy is very big, he's tall, he's just huge, and them kind of guys would stick to a kind of diet where it would just be eat everything and anything. Now for me, I want to compete in the men's physique categories. I want to gain the lean muscle, so I like to use my food sources from clean. I like to use clean food sources such as clean protein, carbs. I don't usually eat junk food a lot, and I aim to eat about 6 meals a day on a regular basis.
And aside from bodybuilding, I know that you're also a personal trainer, and like, how important is your knowledge on diet and nutrition in terms of your own progress and the other people that you train?
Well, as a personal trainer, you've got to be able to pass on your knowledge to people. People are paying for your knowledge, so you've got to be able to share your experience with them, make them want to train with you, make them want to give their hard-earned money to you. So you've got to put in the hours, you've got to study the body, you've got to realise how the body works, you've got to realise that not everybody's body is the same. So you've got to understand that there's all different concepts to bodybuilding, and the fact that I'm doing all these other courses, it's just constantly expanding my knowledge.